Every single day that passes by makes me less and less motivated to wake up. Things haven't exactly been going my way, and things haven't exactly been the best. So I'm gonna try my best to speak my heart out about them, but I might not be able to get through everything. But let's just get through it. I don't even know where I am. Welcome to day 88 of my 365-day series. There's a parrot on my shoulder. We came from the jungle last episode, and it's day 88 of my 365-day series. I'm Glorporous, and I think out loud while playing Minecraft. So I've gone back to school. Is this guy gonna teleport for me? I assume he will, so let's just hope that he does. Don't have to fly, boy. You know what? I should name this guy something. I'm gonna name this guy Banana, cause his head looks like a banana, and I'm pretty sure one of my friends used to have like this kind of bird, like a cockatoo, I think, and he called it a banana. So I'm gonna call his guy that as well, just to honor him, you know, because I'm pretty sure he died, you know, my friend's pet. Anyway, I wanna get into today's topic by saying that I'm back to school. Like officially, I've gotten back into school with a regular school day and a sports event. And let's just talk about the regular school day first. It wasn't exactly good, and it was boring. You know, I wasn't exactly mentally prepared to get back into school because I'm sure you guys understand, but there's like these two different modes that your brain conforms to, not conforms, but defaults to, like holiday mode and school mode, and I simply could not get out of holiday mode. So when I was at school, I constantly felt like, oh, why am I here? This feels weird, and like I had this feeling that I couldn't really socialize because I just didn't have any energy that day, and that means, sorry, I just burped. I have like no social energy. So that happened, and at the same time, I had like a couple lessons that were alright, but at the same time pretty boring, and like it was just fine, you know, it was tolerable, but at the same time I would rather have not gone to school because I didn't learn anything. Honestly, I don't know what I was doing sitting around at school like for 8 hours straight. I genuinely, if you told me what exactly did you learn on that regular school day, I could not tell you. And ouch. So that's that. Then I had a sports event the day after. It was Friday, and I'm recording this as of Saturday, which means that a video has already released. But I'm sure you guys are probably confused as to why I'm recording this on like a Saturday and it's gonna release on a Sunday. And to that I say I record videos early. So this video is recorded, you know, like once all school is done. And the sports event, I spent Tuesday and Wednesday decorating at school beforehand, and the decorations were difficult. I put up balloons on the ceiling, and it was cool actually. The decorations genuinely did look nice, and it took like several hours to actually get them up, and like I was pretty happy, you know. Once I was done with my part, I sort of just went home. I didn't really like inform my advisor, which I probably should have done beforehand, but it's not like they informed me of like when to go home. I mean, I saw other people from my I should probably clarify this beforehand, but I am part of a student council, and we'll get to that in a moment. But I saw other people in the student council like already leaving, so I just assumed, oh, that probably means I can leave once I'm done with my job. So that's exactly what I did. And I assumed like, oh, all is well, I guess. Like, I'm doing my part, I'm helping people out. Like, how wrong could this possibly get? Okay, my parents actually still here. I don't exactly have a good place for this guy to go on to. Yeah, you're gonna sit there? Nice. So your name is Banana. I don't exactly have a name tag for you, I believe. So I'm gonna leave you there, and I hope that carpet is good for you. Anyway, I'm gonna be taking a while to get into the core of this topic, but if you wanna listen, just listen, bear with me for a moment. So I decorated and decorated like across 2 different days, and each day I spent probably like 4 hours of genuine hard physical work, just getting on the ceiling, getting on chairs, wobbly chairs, and getting tired, because I wanted to decorate, I wasn't putting up a facade. Hold on a second. What exactly do I want to do today? I'm gonna I'm gonna make actually I'm gonna just go mine. So I wasn't putting up like a facade, like walking around and seeming useful to people, even though I hypothetically wasn't. I genuinely I feel like I was being helpful, and I was trying to be as like available as possible. So that's exactly what I did. And then the sports event happens, like which is yesterday for me and 2 days ago for you guys. And it all seemingly went well. And then when I do I say this? When I when the sports event was done, actually no, let's not talk about when the sports event was done. What I want to talk about first is I had a lot to do during this sports event. I had to manage this activity where we were making terrariums, which, if you guys don't know, are like aquariums, but they're usually like fully enclosed, and there's like a little ecosystem that self-manages. So you put everything inside, and then you seal it, and it's good to go. You can just leave it be, maybe put it beside some sunlight, and it's gonna keep going on forever, as long as you set it up right. And that's basically the activity I did. I was in charge of like instructing people how to make one, and I did that. And although I did do that, I feel like, how exactly do I do this? Like, I wasn't being valued, I guess. I seemed like I was just assisting, because there was actually a teacher in charge of that activity along with me. I was the person in charge, and they paired me up with a teacher, and I did help. And I want to acknowledge that the teacher did also help a ton, which I'm very grateful for. And she took this little jab at me. I don't know whether it was intentional or unintentional, but while we were setting up stuff, or like helping the people that signed up for the activity, she asked me, "Do you have any experience in gardening?" And I thought back to the times where I did do gardening, and I told her like, "Oh, I have a garden at my home," which I actually do. I'm not lying. Where I grow like peppers, and usually, if my mom asks, then I'll help her like. Oh, I could have killed me there. I just help her with like tidying stuff up and whatever, and then yeah. So I say that, and the teacher goes, "Oh, like I mean like growing your own garden. And then I tell her like, uh, no, but I've helped with managing one. And she tells me, oh yeah, I can tell it's your first time. And to me, I know it's not necessarily something that I have to take personally because maybe she didn't mean it that way, but the way she said it felt like she was taking a jab at my incompetence because I have this lingering insecurity where I feel like, oh, maybe I'm not being as helpful as I probably should be, even though I feel like I genuinely am helping. And when she said that, I felt hurt. And we were setting stuff up for like a solid 3 hours. Uh, 2 hours for actually like having the activity and like the people who registered for it would come to the classroom and learn from us, and then the 1 hour was prepping stuff beforehand. So I prepared like a lot for this, and then like just the amount of time that I spent, it was a lot, genuinely, and it was tiring because I didn't really know how to say things, or like maybe the some of the people who registered for it I don't exactly know well, so it was, I don't know, I'm not a good speaker, so like I try to speak, I try to help, but like there was this awkward tense. Ooh. Oh, gotta make sure that there's not bad, but there's diamond. Doesn't seem like there's anything here, but I don't really want to jinx it, so let's just go ahead and take those diamonds. My face, I can feel my face getting like warmer and redder. I don't know why. I'm nervous, These diamonds, they're good. I can use them, and I'm a little bit scared. Anyway, I don't exactly know these people that well, and I'm not a good speaker, so like I tried my best to speak, and it's awkward, and they don't exactly respond well either. And sometimes I take that personally and assume like, oh, this person just doesn't like my vibe, doesn't like my personality, and I end up staying silent after that. So I mean that's exactly what I did, and I know that's not exactly the best to do, but that was what I did, and I'm not exactly happy with myself, but that's just how I am. So that happened, and like it was tiring, and just having to manage, just having to prepare. I can't really explain it that well. Like we were making these things out of plastic bottles, and like we were, I mean like I'm not the person in charge for the entire event, but it was like a pretty big event. This was just a small activity out of many. Oh, I'm scared. Hold on, I'm scared. There's like pop up. I know it's Minecraft, I know there's nothing, but I get scared sometimes. Maybe that's something about me, I get scared too easily. Anyway, there are like 0 diamonds anywhere. Thankfully there's like 0 mobs either, but eesh, like that. This is gonna be a long video. There's a lot that I really want to get into, but I don't know how I'm gonna fit it into this video because I need to edit it and I need to do a whole bunch of stuff. This might end up being like an hour long, and I know you guys aren't really willing to watch something that long, but yeah. So how I should probably not be doing something so stress-induced. Okay. I know there's literally like nothing here, but I'm just scared. Anyway, We haven't even gotten into halftime yet. This isn't even like a fraction of what I want to get into. This is just a very, very small part of these like built up pressures that I've been feeling. So, like it was very rushed, and the people in charge of like the whole event, I sort of asked them like, oh, like the materials, like which ones do we use, and then we ended up getting plastic bottles, and they were like water bottles, and they still had water in them, and I had to drink so much, and I had to go to the toilet so much just to empty them, just for the sake of these people that registered, and make them genuinely enjoy the activity. And yet there was still like this awkward tension, as if like I'm not exactly the best person to do the activity. So that's that. I've already been here. Let's not let's go into this little corner here, gotta challenge myself sometimes. I mean, seems like there's nothing, because that's exactly what it is. There's like nothing here. Am I running out of food? Guys, can't spend my time here. Alright, I'm gonna try to cut my explanation into something. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I want to go in there. Let's see. I mean, I want to, but it's risky. I mean, I have Fulbright. I can use this if I want to. And I don't know if you guys would like me to use Fulbright. I'm gonna break the rules. I'm gonna cut myself some slack here. Cut myself some slack. I don't even know. But I'm gonna use Fulbright because I can't spend my time worrying about all of this when, it's not that like relevant. So let's just see what we're working with. So I finished with that like activity, and then right after the activity finished, I had to go and play basketball. And the thing is, I'm not good at any particular sport, and then when I got called to play basketball, it felt really embarrassing because, for one, there were a lot of people watching. This wasn't even like the second round or the third round. This was the first round, and there were still like a whole bunch of people watching. So my butt was like really clenched, and like it was very pressuring. And luckily my teammates were my classmates who I am very familiar with, and they gave me like instructions like 5 minutes before we played, and I didn't exactly do my best. Okay, I tried my best and I tried to defend the other team, and something I want to point out is I bumped into the other team a lot of times, and I was scared of getting like a foul, like the whistle and whatever. And then when I did bump into them, I told them, oh, sorry, like I would sort of like raise my hand and like point it towards them and signal like, oh, I didn't mean that, I'm sorry, and they said like, oh, it's fine, like while we were playing. So I'm still actively defending against them. And hold on, this is a little bit of a dangerous area. If I die here, it might not feel so much better when it's bright, there's no pressure, no anything, yada yada. Anyway, let's cut to the chase. But I don't know, it's a little bit weird, of course, like me saying sorry to the enemy, and they were actually playing pretty dirty. Like they were definitely aware that I wasn't the best at basketball. Like I've literally never played. Okay, I need to like admit that, and I'm not exactly sure if basketball is like popular in other countries or whatever. I don't even know what country you are from, but oh, not the best time now. Maybe it's my cue to just go. Those things, This seems scary. Ooh, this doesn't seem scary. This is good. Yes, alright. Not bad. And what else do I need? I'm gonna have to kill you. And while killing you, I've spotted some more time. Very nice. A lot of diamonds actually. Jeez. Here's the problem. I have my volume set really low. But it's gonna sound like really high in the recording. So like if something pops up, I'm gonna not hear it and you guys are gonna hear it. And I'm gonna die. Let's not do that. So this is where I came from. This is what it looks like. You know, it's scary. I need to get into my topic. I don't know what I'm trying to do, guys. And this basketball, it wasn't exactly good. And I got sweaty like not even 3 minutes in. Like we were running. We were genuinely, I was not sure where to go. I was a bit clueless. I couldn't focus. I didn't get enough sleep. There was this pent-up pressure inside me building, and I didn't do my best, and my team lost in the preliminary round. Yeah, I think that's what they call it, right? We lost in the first round, and I felt like I disappointed my teammates, and one of my teammates fell because like he was underneath the hoop, and then the opposition, I think literally, I don't know if it was an accident, but they kicked their knee into my teammate, and then like his head hurt. I mean, there was no clear like bump or anything, thankfully, so it probably wasn't that bad, but it hurt and he went onto the ground, and I'm not exactly sure like what to do, so I sort of just looked at him like worried, but I didn't really do anything, and I feel guilty, you know. Maybe I should have helped him, and this was during like the last few seconds of the match, and I didn't exactly do anything, and like he was still on the floor, he was still hurting, he was still like grunting and whatever, and then the teachers, I guess you could say commentators, they saw, and then like they came over, they sort of like pushed me out of the way, and like I sort of just looked at my teammate. Oh, hi there. Very polite way of just approaching, like, oh, explode. What do I even need? You know, I don't even know if I need deep slate. I don't even know what I need. I haven't really thought of what I'm gonna do in this world, and I'm getting tired, you know, but I really need to explain my thoughts. And this, see, if I didn't have Fulbright, I could not see that, but now that I'm here, now that I can see clearly, that genuinely would have killed me had I walked into that. That is insane. I don't even know why there are that many creepers. I'm gonna let them explode. But you see this? This is insane. Boom, boom. Oh, okay, that's it. Boom, boom, and the last one. Boom. That's insane. I don't even know why that many creepers can just spawn. Anyway, mineshaft. Spawner. Oh no, yeah, that is a spawn. Alright. We are getting sidetracked so much. Have I been here before? I have been here before. What in the world? I don't remember being here. Why am I... These are torches that... Oh, I've placed. That's gravel that's fallen in front of me before. I don't recognize this place, but I've been here before. My memory is failing. Let's just go wherever I can. Alright. I think I'm gonna head back to the surface. I'm gonna try to do things up there instead of being up here where it's all risky and it's all dangerous and it's all like killing me. I haven't even gotten into the chase yet, okay? There was a lot of pressure coming from the basketball game, and when it was done, I had to go change, right? And then I didn't even know what job I had next. I'm still a student council member. I'm saying it like I'm gonna get fired. I probably am. But I'm I I felt pressured, you know? I was sort of like time aware, and I changed in a rush. I went to the look, I really don't wanna deal like all the zombies just like coming in here and reason. Even this look, I'm tired and then I just having to deal with this stuff. It's annoying, but that's how it is. That's how I'm gonna have to. I don't even know where I came from. I'm gonna try my best to figure that out. But how? Because I'm losing viewer retention. I know that for a fact. And when I was changing, I was in the toilet, right? I locked myself into a stall all alone, and I finally had some alone time, you know? I didn't really have a break during the terrarium making. Like, I was constantly preparing, you know? And it kept my stress up at like a really high baseline. And then when I finally had the time to rest for a little bit, I cried, you know, because I was really pressured and I felt like I just don't want to do this anymore. And I cried. And when I tried to cry, there were a few tears. Like I could feel my eyes getting blurry and watery. And then a few tears came out. And then I couldn't let any more out. And I'm assuming that means I'm numbing the sadness, which I probably am. I haven't really spoken to anyone about how I've been feeling, and even up until now, I feel like I don't really want to do this anymore. You know, like I think most people are fine if I wasn't there one day. And the only few things that are like keeping me from not waking up and not living to see another day is maybe this channel and my fear of like making my family sad. You know, aside from that, I don't really have anything. I am not good at basketball. I wasn't really that competent while like trying my best to help the teacher with setting stuff up, and she wasn't even there for most of the time. I set the stuff up by myself for some of it. Okay, we had two sessions, session 1 and session 2. Session 1, the teacher told me what to do, like how things were gonna be set up. We did it on a whim, and then once we figured it out, session 2, before session 2, I prepared a whole bunch of stuff and whatever. Like I did everything as she instructed beforehand. She didn't instruct me to prepare, but like I did out of my own initiative. I'm proud of that, but I'm also sad because no one sees that initiative. And we'll get to that in a moment. This is gonna be like a 40-minute unedited video. I'm really sorry. This is gonna take a while to upload as well. I'm stressed. There's a lot of things I need to do tomorrow. Not tomorrow, today. This is a Sunday. I'm recording this on a Sunday, not a Saturday. I'm still awake from a Saturday. I haven't slept. It's a Sunday. It's like 2:30 a.m. in the morning. I need to finish this, but I just need to also explain my thoughts. So even this channel has been pressuring me a lot. I haven't even finished explaining what happened. So let's speak about that. So I didn't have anything to do after that, so I stayed in a classroom which was actually used for the terrarium making, and I just sort of sat there. You know, I laid there. You guys not see that? It's like the temperature of the colors is relevant. I'm gonna stay in the house. I'm gonna try to not overload myself with things that I probably don't even need to do. And I know it's boring for you guys, it's visually boring, but I need to let my thoughts out. Thanks for being here, Banana. Thanks for going from the jungle up until this point. Really value you. I'm not even gonna hold my sword in front of you. You deserve peace. Can I not find it? Oh, my time. And I sat there for a solid 1 hour 30 minutes, and a few of the student council members, which fortunately were my friends, I asked them like, oh, is there anything I can do to help? Because I was a bit worried and pressured that maybe I'm not being the most helpful I could possibly be. And they told me like, oh, there's not really much you can do. So I sort of sat there, I didn't do anything. I sat in that classroom, I didn't do anything. And like no one was acknowledging that I wanted to help. I felt invisible. No one really came to me and said like, "Oh, are you okay?" I was sitting beside my teammate. He did actually ask like, "Oh, you seem sad. Are you okay?" And I said, "Uh, it's fine." And "it's fine" is really just a code word for it's not okay, but I feel like it would bother you too much if I said it, so I'm not going to say it. And that's exactly what I meant. Because weird. Okay? I fear being a burden, but at the same time I need someone to acknowledge me. Weird. It's a mix of two different opposite feelings that somehow are working together to make my life the most miserable it could possibly be. So I sat there for a while and then I realized like, oh, I should probably do something. So I went out of the class out of my own initiative and I went up to this like big room, like bigger than wherever I'm seeing here, And I realized something. Hold on a second. Test. Alright, I just checked from my recording software, like whether I was actually capturing my audio, because there have been a few. Oh my days, that's a lot. That's like a lot. While I'm not doing anything productive, why don't I just uh I'm gonna go like farm XP. At the same time, I went to this big room and they were playing badminton in it. There was like a few events. There was basketball, there was dodgeball, there was badminton, there was football. So I watched the badminton and it was genuinely impressive. Like these people know their stuff, they know what they're doing, and I wanna be like them. And there was like this one guy, this dude was insanely buff. And it felt like motivation for me to keep going, but that doesn't really last long. We'll get to that in a moment again, I swear. Hopefully I don't forget, but if I do, I'm sorry. But there was this dude that was buff, and then they were playing really well, and then one of my student council friends, he was in charge of like taking pictures, and then like I told him the settings and I helped him, and then he forced the camera onto me even though I don't know any good pictures. And I told him like, oh, I genuinely cannot like take pictures, and then like he ignored me. What kind of, I want to restrict myself, but this isn't even a friend, this is this person who unfortunately I can't describe with as much detail as I want to, because maybe that could out my anonymity, but this person only uses people. He may act friendly, but I know for a fact this person does not care for me aside from my ability to do mathematics and my willingness to help him. which I don't really have any self-respect, which is something I should work on. So he handed me the camera forcefully, and I couldn't take pictures. And then when the badminton match ended, then he asked for the camera. Even though I told him repeatedly, I can't take any pictures. I can't really take good pictures at good angles because it's really hard. It's a fast-paced badminton match, and I'm not gonna get the best shots. And he didn't even say anything. He wasn't even facing me when I said that. He heard me loud and clear. I was saying it the loudest, the clearest I possibly could have. And then he was looking the other way and he went along his way. And maybe that says something about my self-respect. Maybe I don't have like a single ounce of it. That's probably very true. But there was this rage building up inside of me, and I want to get into that after. So that happened, and then it ended, right? Everything ended, the entire day was over, hip hip hooray! And then I went down, because that was, the big room was actually on the top floor of my school, and then we went down, and I was just chilling inside of the classroom, because genuinely, I was tired, the whole time, well not the whole time, but for like a solid while, I was genuinely moving around so much, I was preparing so much, and no one really, like helped me aside, like beside me. So that, then like there were still some decorations that were put up, right? And then the student council advisor, he called people, and then he said like, oh, student council members, calm down immediately and take the decorations down, because we were done with the day. And when I heard that, I did help, I didn't help before he said that, and I have some justifications, and I know I probably should have taken more initiative, but I was tired, so was he. I was just trying to do my best, and he told us, and I did help. And then we took the decorations off, we tidied everything up, we put back the stuff that where we needed them to be. And then we had like a little short meeting. Well, it wasn't even short, it was like the longest 20 minutes, that could have passed. And during this 20 minutes, not even during, this was like at the start of the 20 minutes, he told us, 10th graders, if you keep repeating this, don't even bother joining next year. And he wasn't looking at anyone in particular, he wasn't looking at me either, but I felt like he was talking about me. And maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way, but let's say he is talking about me, and he's saying that I didn't do much the whole day. I tried my best to help. I didn't do it because I wanted to look good, not because I wanted to increase my reputation. It's because I genuinely wanted to help. And for you to say that as though I haven't been doing my best either, I haven't been trying my best to put this in my to-do list and to do things as I'm told, and you go out of your way to say that I haven't been doing anything the whole day, and to say that I'm not taking initiative as a student council member, which you chose, by the way. You chose me, and you have the audacity to say that I didn't do anything? So I can't even put this into words how bothered, how disturbed I was with what he said. But I left that meeting with a very ridiculed, weird taste in my mouth. I'm saying this metaphorically, but I sat at the lunch table after that alone, because we can still sit at like the tables after school. And I was thinking, I was walking around, I was like doing this along, like beside the tables, and I just thought to myself, how much more can I put up with everyone's shit? Because I just don't wanna. It's ridiculous. And now I realize there's so much pressure going on in my life. There's my I'm not exactly doing the best financially, and like that's been sort of this looks nice actually. I might just but I I've been dealing with a lot. I'm not doing the best financially. I don't even know what I want to do in my future, and there are no like people sticking around alongside me to really like reassure me, because I feel like I've never really been given reassurance. This is a very nice. Oh, okay. Please die. I wanna get a good shot, okay? Please! Just die! Just die! Just die! Just die! Just die! Alright. So... very nice. Oh, okay, I didn't mean for that to happen. It's the recording's probably very laggy. But, okay, financial pressure, social pressure, future pressure, everything has been building up on top of me, like as heavy as this XP farm if it were in real life. And I can't really even tell anyone about this pressure. This is literally the only place where I'm genuinely acknowledging that this isn't good for me. This is a lot to carry by myself, not to really like give to anyone aside from this channel and whoever's watching up until this point. But at this point, I feel like I don't want to wake up. Because my sleep hasn't been going well. I feel like I genuinely need rest. And at the same time, who's gonna care? If I don't exist anymore. I mentioned maybe yesterday or 2 videos ago that there's this manga that I read, Chainsaw Man, and spoilers ahead, but one of the characters, there's a dog devil named Pochita, which is actually the Chainsaw Devil, which has the ability to make everyone forget the things that he eats. He rips his heart out and he eats it, basically deleting himself, right? Because he wants to care for Denji, his companion. And what if I just did that, What if I erased myself from the world and let everything go by better? Maybe that ending wasn't so bad after all. And I feel like maybe if I just went into a coma one day, or if I just, I didn't wake up one day and my body starts to, turn into one of these guys, maybe everyone else's lives can go on better. And I feel a little bit better talking about this situation. At the same time, I feel really sad. Like I don't want to have to deal with this anymore. So that's all for today. That was it. Literally all I wanted to say. And I'm just gonna end it off here. Okay, I'm probably gonna record another video like right after this, so I can, a few days I don't have to do anything. But if you even watched up until this point, thank you so much for listening to my venting session. Yeah, I let's just call it a venting session. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow or never, but thank you for being here, future me or current viewer, and thanks.